am not in Texas and I'm not in New York. I'm actually in South Carolina. I literally got off of an airplane less than an hour ago. I landed, gotten straight into the rental car, and it's time to go hiking. So let's go. So I am at Congaree National Park outside of Columbia, South Carolina. So that is where I'm at. I am here in Columbia for work, and a couple of years ago I came out here. It's a national park that's free, not too far from where I was staying. Came out here and I hiked every single trail out here, and it was fantastic and it was glorious and it was beautiful. I really wanted to come back and video it because it was an experience like none other. And I wanted to share it with you guys because it's just different. But it is a great place. So if you're ever in Columbia, South Carolina, Congaree National Park. There's lots of people out here, so it's been hard to video. That trail, or that, there's campground over there. And then Sims Trail and Bluff Trail. I'm gonna come back from that direction, but for right now I'm gonna continue on the boardwalk. Campground that way. Came from the visitor center. Firefly Trail continues that way. And we're gonna turn this way. Continue on the boardwalk. Lots of birds. Yeah, look at that in there. That's so cool.
Yeah. That's drought, big drought.
Yeah. Well, there's a big drought. We've got a lot of bird like on the street. It's so low, huh? The water's so low.
Oh, yeah. Very
This is the trail I was looking for. Weston Lake Loop, King Snake Trail, and Oak Ridge Trail. Let's go. It's a big tree. In 2023, I think it was 2023, I was here the end of January, the beginning of February, and got into Columbia really early, like today, and decided, hey, I want to go for a hike. So I came out here, but I didn't know what I was getting into, and it was actually really cold, so I didn't hike very much. Maybe like a couple miles. I got a park map, and then later in the week I was able to come out here and do, it was the Weston Trail is what it's called, and I was racing the clock because sun was setting and I made it, but I was like, I want to come back and do all of it, like 11-12 miles worth. So on the weekend I came back and did that, but the problem is it had rained like 2 or 3 days straight really hard, and everything in here was like not completely underwater, but it was pretty bad. Like if you hadn't had the marks on the trees, you wouldn't have been able to see the trail. And I was wading through, I think at one point it was up to my chest, swimming basically through water to follow the trail. But by the time I got into where it was that deep, I would have had to go back through a lot of water to get out the way I came. So I just continued on the loop. I did the whole thing, but it was so fantastic. I had such a good time. I'll put a picture here so you can see one of the points where or several of the points where I was navigating this. And then it was really sad because I tried to come out yet another time before I went back home, and it had rained a whole bunch more, and the trails, like, you couldn't walk on any of them. So I had to not do it again because you can't swim the whole trail. You can swim part of it, but it was going to be way too deep, so I didn't do it. But because of that, this trail has a place in my heart, and it's kind of strange, but it's just a lot of fun. It's so different. Blow down. One of the challenges of hiking here in South Carolina is in January, February, it was cold, cool, really pleasant for hiking. I'm here, it's the end of April, and it's not hot yet, but y'all, it is humid, and way more humid than San Antonio. So it's probably about 75 degrees, but I'm drenched. This is how you get away from the people, though. I haven't seen anybody since I've been out on this part of the trail. You can see where this area fills with water when that river floods. It just comes up in here and then gets really close to the trail or covers the trail. Weston Lake Loop, King Snake Trail, Oak Ridge Trail. I've done all of those, but we're not going to do King Snake today. We're going to go to Weston Lake Loop. We're going to do just that loop. We aren't doing 12 miles today. Not after having to be up at 2 to catch a 5 a.m. flight. Nope. I have limits. But I'm very thankful to be doing this. This is fabulous. I just passed some people that said South Carolina's in a drought right now, which is why there's like no mud on the trail at all. And the river's pretty low. I mean, there's water in it, but it's not swampy like it was when I was here before, for sure. Texas, it's the same way. They just haven't gotten a lot of rain, so everything's super dry. Yeah, see, there's water down in the river, but when I was here before, it was up on the bank. Like, it was running onto the trail 10 feet higher than it is now, maybe. So we're gonna take the Sims Trail, which is kind of like a Forest Service road. It cuts down the middle of the loop, which is nice because it gives you options. That day I came out here, did everything, it was like 13, 14 miles. Or you can just do the boardwalk out to the overlook, and it's like 2 miles total, so. This is where the boardwalk right here, which is under construction. I just came down the river trail. River trail. I could go that way. That goes back to that overlook where the people were and the turtles. We're back at this intersection with the campground and the boardwalk. Looks like they're building it up higher than it was. It was actually really low before. Maybe it won't get closed as much for flooding. So 5.19 miles. I knocked that out in an hour and 39 minutes. And I'm really hot and sweaty now because it is very humid. But that was great. So I basically did the Weston Trail and the Sims Trail to make a loop. Could have done the Oak Ridge Trail, but I just don't have it in me. But still great. Highly recommend this place. It's free, so that's a win. But yeah, really nice. Can't say enough about it. So if you're ever in South Carolina, Columbia, it's worth checking out. I gotta go check into my hotel and go be a responsible adult. But this was fun. So yeah, I'll see you later. Bye. I thought I would show you really quick what I pack with me when I travel for work. Most times when I go somewhere, there's hiking trails. So just show you really quick what I pack with me in my suitcase. It's not a whole lot, and it's pretty simple. So I have this Osprey pack. It's pretty tiny. It flattens down really well, so it doesn't take up a lot of space in my suitcase. In fact, I had this in my carry-on today, just kind of tucked in there and smashed down real flat. I usually have a smart water bottle with me. It'll fit perfectly right there in the Osprey. I don't usually mess with the bladder because then I have to drain it and clean it and all that stuff while I'm traveling. But this is great. If I lose it, I can get another one. If, you know, I don't bring it with me, I can just buy one somewhere. So that's an easy one. I usually will throw a bar or two in my carry-on luggage. So I have some quick energy type thing with me, which I needed that today because I didn't eat anything on my flights, and then I didn't have time in between stuff to get food, so I was really hungry and I needed a bar to kind of get me going. I usually will bring a pair of tennis shoes anyways on my travels to work out, so I just pick a pair of shoes that I can use for hiking and for the gym, which these Ultras, they do the trick. I'll pack a pair of liner socks, and actually funny, I actually wore these on the plane today because I was like, well, I have my socks, I have my shoes, we're ready to go. And I have my hiking shirt, which is actually just a wool t-shirt. So it looks nice. I mean, it's black, so it's, you know, even if I had gotten it stained, it doesn't show it. It doesn't stink easily. And so I just wore this today with a pair of jeans on the plane. So there again, I had like 3 of the items on me already as I was traveling. And then I tucked a pair of my hiking shorts into my carry-on, so I was wearing jeans on the airplane. And when I got to the national park, I just took off my jeans and put on these shorts, and I was with these things right here, just ready to go take a hike. It's actually really cool because I've been some places where I would not travel there just to go hiking. So if I'm there already, I've been able to explore places that otherwise I wouldn't get to explore. Like, I'm never gonna come to Columbia, South Carolina just for fun. So I would never go to Congaree National Park, but since I'm here for work, and that's what happened in 2023 when I was here, I was like, oh, I have free time, let's go explore. And there's some other places I've hiked near Columbia too. I just haven't talked about them in a video because that was before I was doing YouTube stuff, so I don't have records of any of that stuff. I've kind of made it a habit to take this stuff everywhere I go because you never know. I mean, I ended up in Cuba and there were hiking trails. So I'm like, oh, I had the same setup with me. I had the same backpack, I had the same shorts, had a different t-shirt, but same idea. And I had my Ultras with my Injinji liner socks. So I was ready to go when I realized, wow, there's hiking here. Let's go. So just a tip, like if you travel a lot for work, this doesn't take up a whole lot of space at all. And, you know, you'll have what you need. I guess, you know, if it's colder weather, you need pants instead of the shorts and, you know, a sweatshirt or fleece or something. But that's, you know, easy to adjust for, and you're not taking up a lot of space in your suitcase. So just a tip if that's helpful for someone. I should have also mentioned that I am very well aware I do not have the 10 essentials when I am traveling for work and taking those hikes. I'm not going to go on a hike that's going to put me in a situation where I would need to like have those things. So I stick with the low risk things. So the hike out today, I mean, there were tons of people. Half of that trail was a boardwalk. Even the places where there weren't that many people, like, it was low risk. I knew where I was going. I had my phone, you know, their SOS button on my phone. I mean, I didn't have any first aid stuff with me. I guess, you know, if you really wanted that, you could slip that into your luggage and, you know, have a small first aid kit to slip into your backpack. And you could bring an InReach. I mean, Garmin InReach, that doesn't take up a whole lot of space either. So, I mean, you can modify it. Didn't bring it this time because I knew I didn't need it here. And some other places I've gone for work, I didn't really need anything extra. I wasn't gonna go do something crazy. So if you're gonna try to do something more ambitious, then you might need to add a few more things. What I have is a good place to start. So that's what I was trying to communicate. See you later. Bye.